What if your $500,000 home was suddenly worth $400,000? That's not a hypothetical. It's happening right now in cities across America. From Austin to Detroit, the housing market is collapsing faster than 2008. In 2025, some of America's hottest real estate zones are suddenly cooling off fast. Cities like Austin, where the average house lost $120,000 in value, and it's not just one city. Across the U.S., there are 31.5% more homes for sale than last year, and houses are sitting on the market twice as long as they did in 2022. But here's the kicker. Even with prices dropping, buyers aren't rushing in. Why? If you're thinking of buying or selling, you need to know, is your city next? Stay tuned to find out. Make sure you hit subscribe and let me know what you think about this ongoing situation, because it isn't a housing market crash. It's a wake-up call. Number 1. Cape Coral. Imagine a sunny beach town with canals and palm trees. A few years ago, it was the place everyone wanted to live. Now, the housing market is in free fall. Back in 2020, people flocked here. Home prices shot up fast, like a rocket. By early 2022, the average home cost around $430,000. But today, that same home is worth about $372,000. That's a drop of $58,000 in just a few years. It's like buying a car for $43,000 and then finding out it's only worth $37,200 a couple years later. Ouch. And it's not just prices dropping. There are way more homes for sale now. In mid-2023, there were maybe 1,500 homes on the market. Now, over 3,000. That's double the number. Normally, when there are more homes than buyers, prices go down. That's exactly what's happening. Homes are also sitting empty longer. In 2021, a house might sell in 30 days. Now, they're sitting for 78 days on average. That's like leaving a cake out for weeks and wondering why nobody's eating it. Almost 40% of sellers are slashing their prices. Some are cutting $30,000 to $70,000 off their asking price just to get someone to bite. It's like a clearance sale, but for houses. So why is this happening? A few big reasons. First, insurance. If you own a home in Florida, you need hurricane insurance. In 2020, that might have cost $2,400 a year. Now, it's $6,000 to $8,000. For some people, that's more than their mortgage payment. Imagine paying more for insurance than for the roof over your head. Then there's the cost of borrowing money. Mortgage rates have shot up. A few years ago, you might get a loan at 3% interest. Now it's around 7%. That means if you take out a $372,000 loan, your monthly payment is way higher than it would have been before. For a lot of people, that's just too much. And there's another problem. Too many new homes. Builders went crazy during the pandemic, putting up tons of houses. Now there are more homes than people who want to buy them. It's like if a restaurant made 200 steaks, but only 100 people showed up to eat. The steaks sit there, and the restaurant has to lower prices to get rid of them. Many moved here for the sunshine and lower costs, but with insurance and mortgage payments soaring, their fixed incomes, like Social Security, can't keep up. Some are selling at a loss, others are stuck in homes they can't afford anymore. It's a perfect storm. High insurance, expensive mortgages, too many homes, and buyers disappearing. The dream of a waterfront lifestyle in Cape Coral is turning into a financial nightmare for many. Number 2. Phoenix. A few years back, Phoenix was on fire, and this Arizona city was a housing boomtown. From 2020 to mid-2022, home prices shot up like a rocket, jumping nearly 60% to a median of $470,000. It felt like everyone wanted a piece of the desert sun. But by 2025, that rocket fuel has fizzled out. The market has cooled fast. Here's the reality check. There are way more homes for sale now than before. In just the last year, the number of houses on the market has jumped by over 55%. In some neighborhoods, listings have tripled, like going from 100 homes for sale to 300. Not many people are buying. Sales volumes are down 30% compared to pre-pandemic levels, It's like a store stocked 300 TVs but only sold 70. Now the shelves are overflowing. Why the slowdown? Two big reasons: money and math. First, mortgage rates have climbed. A few years ago, you might get a loan at 3% interest. Now it's around 7%. For a $470,000 home, that means a much higher monthly payment. Second, the median household income in Phoenix is around $72,000. For many, that math just doesn't add up. Even big investors who bought up thousands of homes during the boom are now selling at a loss because they can't make a profit. Phoenix's housing dream is hitting a rough patch. The boom is over and the bust is here. Number 3. Dallas. Imagine a city that was on fire during the pandemic. From 2019 to 2022, home prices skyrocketed by 48%, hitting $420,000. It felt like everyone wanted a piece of the Lone Star State's boom. But by 2025, the sizzle has cooled. The market is slowing down, and here's why. In 2025, the median home price in Dallas is around $409,050. Some reports even show a steeper drop to $315,056, down 4.6% in just a year. So what's next? The Dallas-Fort Worth area is now a buyer's market. Over 66% of homes are selling below their asking price. Experts predict the market will stay cool, with prices likely to dip further if inventory stays high. For buyers, this means more options and negotiating power. For sellers, it's a reality check. Pricing too high could mean your home sits empty for months. In short, Dallas's pandemic housing rocket has landed. The city is adjusting to a new normal: slower sales, lower prices, and a market that finally gives buyers a breather. Number 4. Las Vegas. Imagine a city where the lights are bright but the housing market is dimming. A few years ago, homes here were selling like hotcakes. In 2022, the average house cost $420,000. Fast forward to 2025, and that same home is worth $350,000. That's a $70,000 drop, but here's the kicker: there are way more homes for sale now. In 2022, there were about 4,000 homes on the market. By 2025, that number ballooned to 11,000. With so many options, buyers can take their time. Homes now sit empty for 90 days on average, up from just 20 days a few years ago. Why the crash? A few big reasons. Too many short-term rentals. Over 40% of Vegas homes were bought as Airbnb or vacation rentals. But with travel slowing, these homes sit empty. High mortgage rates. Interest rates hit 7% in 2025. For a $350,000 loan, that means monthly payments around $2,450. But the average Vegas worker makes $55,000 a year. After taxes, that's like spending over half your paycheck just on housing. Number 5. Oakland was once the affordable alternative to San Francisco, but now it's collapsing under the weight of its own pricing and problems. The median home price has plummeted from a 2021 peak of nearly $950,000 to around $815,000. Inventory has surged by nearly 50%, with homes sitting for an average of 82 days. A mass exodus is underway. Between 2021 and 2024, Oakland lost over 40,000 residents, fleeing high taxes, crime, and a declining quality of life. High mortgage rates have shattered affordability, with monthly payments on a typical home exceeding $6,000. Nearly 40% of listings are undergoing price cuts, and some homeowners who bought at the peak are now underwater on their mortgages. Analysts expect a further decline of 15% or more in home values by the end of 2025. Number 6. Denver. Denver was once a dream destination, with mountain views and a booming housing market. In 2022, the average home cost $600,000. Fast forward to 2025, and that same home is worth $480,000. During the pandemic, builders went into overdrive, constructing 20,000 new homes. But now there are more homes than people who want to buy them. Number 7. Northport. A few years back, this small town became a housing hotspot. From 2020 to 2022, home prices skyrocketed by 73%, hitting $450,000. It felt like everyone wanted a piece of the Gulf Coast dream. But by 2025, that dream has turned into a nightmare. The market is collapsing faster than almost anywhere else in Florida. Northport's new homes are sitting empty. Builders are slashing prices by $40,000 to $60,000, like knocking $50,000 off a $377,000 home just to get people to buy. It's like a clearance sale, but for houses. This isn't just a cool down, it's a full correction. The city went from boom town to bust in a few short years. Number 8. Nashville. Nashville was once a hotspot where country music and tech collided, drawing crowds and driving up home prices. In 2022, the average home cost $500,000. By 2025, that price dropped to $410,000, a $90,000 loss. Some data shows prices stabilizing in 2025, with slight increases in certain areas. But the bigger picture? Nashville's market is cooling after years of rapid growth. For sellers, it's a reality check. For buyers, there are more options, but high rates and insurance still make affordability tough. Number 9. Detroit, a city where history and culture shine brightly. Take a stroll along the Detroit riverfront, where you can enjoy stunning views of the water, lively events, and a peaceful escape in the heart of the city. Detroit was once seen as a city on the rebound, but by 2025, its housing market is struggling. In 2022, the average home cost $250,000. By 2025, that price dropped to $180,000, a $70,000 loss. There are also way more homes for sale now. In 2022, there were about 5,000 homes on the market. By 2025, that number ballooned to 20,000. In fact, 40% of homes are selling for less than the asking price, like a clearance sale that never ends. Some data shows prices stabilizing in 2025, with slight increases in certain areas. But the bigger picture? Detroit's market is cooling after years of rapid growth. For sellers, it's a reality check. Number 10. Atlanta. Atlanta is a city where Southern charm meets modern energy, offering a vibrant mix of history, culture, and green spaces. Start your day at Piedmont Park, a sprawling urban oasis with trails, playgrounds, and skyline views. Perfect for picnics or morning jogs. Atlanta was once a booming city, but in 2025, its housing market is struggling. Home prices have dropped significantly, with the median sale price down 9% compared to last year. Inventory has surged, with active listings up 25% year over year, giving buyers more options. Homes are taking longer to sell, the market is overbuilt, with a flood of new construction leading to excess supply. Rising costs, including flood insurance premiums doubling in some areas, have added to the burden. And then the mortgage rate's around 6.89%. The average monthly payment on a $310,000 home is around $2,170. For the typical Atlantan earning $65,000 a year, that means over 40% of their income goes to housing, creating financial strain. From coast to coast, America's housing dream is turning into a nightmare. With rates, insurance, and inventory colliding, 2025 is the year the market breaks. Will your city be next? Imagine this. You bought a home during the pandemic boom, thinking prices would keep climbing. Now your $500,000 house is worth $400,000. Your mortgage payment, once manageable, now eats up over half your paycheck. Insurance costs have doubled. And everywhere you look, for sale signs clutter neighborhoods like weeds. The housing crash of 2025 isn't just a headline. It's a reality check. And for millions of Americans, the dream is turning into a trap. And if you're still here, then don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like.